Geeks, nerds, gamers, and trolls. This is your MMOBomb.com first look at NARAKA BLADEPOINT. This is a free-to-play battle royale published by NetEase, developed by 24 Entertainment. Now, the first thing you might ask yourself is, why do we need another battle royale? Aren't there plenty of them out there? And this one does a few things a little different. We're going to talk about that, but first let's start out with the things that are similar to other battle royales out there. And that is, we're going around opening chests, we're collecting weapons, armor, as well as food and armor powder to be able to repair our armor and heal ourselves. So we're going around doing that, collecting everything, picking up scraps that other people don't want, trying to find upgrades. Things come in standard, rare, epic, and legendary, just like you might expect. We're collecting all these items into our inventory, which you do have limited inventory space. But you can get bag upgrades as well as items called soul jades, which are passive to things like defense, attack, health, melee defense specifically, ranged defense specifically, different types of passes that you can equip onto your character. And you can get into your inventory and you can toss those out as you find upgrades and find better items and pick and choose which weapons you want to use based on type of weapon that's available to you. But just like most battle royales, the beginning is going to be a bit of an equipment race to get better gear, to get ready for fights. Here momentarily, you'll see me open up the inventory, and we're looking at the soul jades, which are the shards that we've got equipped that give the different passives. You can see I've got a phantom step. Whenever I dodge, I go invisible for a second. And lots of different abilities that you can choose and pick from and find out in the world. You can see me there as I dodge forward. I turn invisible. I am playing a trios game in this match, so that was my teammate I just ran by. It does mark them on the mini-map so that you can see where they are, and they've got the little icon above their head that makes them easier to distinguish from enemies out in the world, which is everybody else who doesn't have the little icon above their head. So we've talked about some of the things that make this game similar to other games, and there you can see I'm kind of peeping on somebody out there trying their abilities out. So we've talked about things that make this similar to other battle royales, so let's talk about things that make it different. This is a melee-focused battle royale. There are ranged weapons in the game. There are bows and some other abilities, but it's mostly about martial weapons and up-close melee combat. All of the ranged weapons are projectile-based, and they can be difficult to land. And so the game is mostly focused around the melee attacking. You'll see me here momentarily, or not momentarily, here in a few minutes, I'll use a bow to try to shoot some people at range. But it's all about that melee, baby. It's all about the different type of weapons you have equipped that attack differently and do different styles of attacks and attack at different speeds. There are multiple characters to choose from whenever you start a game, and each one has their own special set of abilities. The character I have has a knockback, and her ultimate style ability is like an AoE stun. Now, it's not very good for one-on-one battles, the AoE stun, but if you're in a group fight and you can keep from being focused momentarily, you can stun a whole group of enemies pretty easily. Other characters have things like protections. One other character turns into like a giant avatar, a giant four-armed avatar of destruction. It's pretty cool. We'll see that towards the end of the video. Somebody had transformed into that form later on. Overall, the melee combat in the game does feel pretty good. It can be a little floaty at times, but overall, I will have to say that they've done a fantastic job with that. One of the things I don't like, though, is the block ability. It has to be like to the second perfect. And I get they don't want people standing around like in blocking form, just walking around each other, blocking each other all the time. But there needs to be a little bit more leeway in the time that you can activate the block and actually get a block off. So I found that dodging is actually much more useful than blocking. As you can see, there's lots of terrain climbing. There are grappling hooks in the game, and you can grapple up to different levels and things like that. And the grappling hooks are just items you pick up off the ground, just like everything else, and you collect them in your inventory, and every time you use one, it consumes one out of your inventory, so you're going to want to have multiple grappling hooks on you at a time. That was a bounty I just walked past. You can get bounties on specific characters. Right now, I'm not with my teammates, I don't think. They're not all close to us. We're not all together. So I chose not to pick up the bounty. Now, unfortunately, not everybody that I run into and am fighting is a person. They do fill this game out with bots, and there are bots that just spawn in the world during a fight, and they're there to sort of give you some currency that you can spend at special chests to get more upgraded equipment, and sometimes they'll have an upgrade or something on them. So you'll see here, I'm trying to figure out, you know, is it worth getting in this fight? Are these bots or these people? It can be hard to tell sometimes, but we decide just to go in, wreck some face, and sort them out later. Either way, it can be really worth going in and fighting, even if they are some of the spawned bots. Because like I said, they do usually carry a lot of that currency you see me pick up here, and some weapon upgrades and things like that. So they've usually got some stuff on them that you can use, definitely. So it's usually worth going in and just going ahead and getting into a fight, especially if you are fairly certain you're going to win. Unfortunately, what you can run into is there are zones that these bots spawn into during the match, and they will continue to spawn throughout the match. So we've found ourselves at one point, and I'll probably skip past that, where we are fighting a group of the bots that spawn in, and by the time we get them killed, another group of bots just spawns in. So it was a little annoying in that respect. And as you can see, I get hit by spikes that I don't think I was standing on, but I keep getting hit by these spikes going through here. And despite my efforts to jump over them, that does no good. To run to the side of them, that does no good. They're burning my shields. So yeah, you got to really stay away from these spikes.
Is around the corner.
So let's fast forward to a little more fighting while I give you my final thoughts on NARAKA BLADEPOINT. Overall, I find it rather enjoyable. I've been having a good time in the game, checking it out, playing it. I don't know that it does anything, or I know that it doesn't do anything to reinvent this genre by any means, but the melee focus is very interesting, and the fights are engaging and a lot of fun. And being able to loot the corpses like that and get lots of good gear, even if it's a bot, you can still get lots of good currency and stuff off of them, so it makes it worth engaging with them. I really like the Soul Jade system. I think it does a great job of sort of customizing your fight experience. You can go defensive, you can go offensive, and there are certain ones that give you passive skills like the one that I've got where you dash, you go invisible. There are different ones like that. So overall, the Soul Jade system is rather engaging and does make a difference in the fights. So if you're looking for something a little different than the typical shooty, then this could be the Battle Royale for you. I'd say check it out. It is free to play now. You can play it for free on Steam. Just a quick aside, this is the special chest where you can spend that currency that you accumulate to get upgraded items and things. So well worth gathering that currency so you can spend them at these chests. There's the item bag expansion and different Soul Jade expansions and things like that in this chest. So overall, it is a quality game. It is worth checking out if you think you might be interested in it. Like I said, you can download it for free on Steam. Doesn't do anything to reinvent the wheel here, other than the melee focused on combat. But other than that, it's been a solid experience, and I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. As always, I have been the man, the myth, the legend, the noob fridge, Troy Blackburn. Always head over to MMOBomb.com for the latest news and information on all the online multiplayer games that you need to know about. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We certainly appreciate it. Helps pay the bills. Thank you so much. This first look is done. I am out.